It's great to be at Island Camp. Finally got here. We've been meeting for a couple of years, but the half term never fell in the same half term as Island Camp. So first time I've been able to get over. I was just looking around the room thinking, gosh, I've got so much history in this room with my walk. I've been in the Lord 31 years, and it all started. I was walking down Kemble High Street. It's about 17, and I got a leaflet from a guy with a bit of an Aussie accent. And as it turned out, it was Tony Allen. He had a black cap. Spoke very briefly about a meeting of God. I went, thank you very much, and took the leaflet home. Then, bizarrely, they moved 3 doors down from where I used to live, and Greg and his family, Tony and his family. So we're all about 17, and they became friends with my sister. Greg became friends with my sister first, and they're all about the same age, but they're very different from Deborah and I. You know, I was 16, 17, and already getting into trouble with all sorts of things, and whereas all these boys were all Christian boys, you can get more opposite. But there was definitely a pull towards the family. In my situation, my parents had just split up, and my mum was the main authoritarian in the house, and she left, and I was with my dad. My dad was working and got a new wife. My sister got off to university, so I spent a lot of time around that time on my own. So when I went down to the Allen's house, it was noisy and chaotic, and there was party in the mix, and people coming in and out, and it was so different from the house that I came from. Anyway, the family really witnessed to me, and I invited Greg around because he was gorgeous at that time. I had to say that. I invited him around and he witnessed to me, I was dead, to be honest. And then, for a set of circumstances, I ended up working with Sandra, and they never bashed me at all. It was always ever so gentle. It was on this hand, come to the Lord, come to the fellowship, blah blah, and on this hand, marry Greg. Anyway, so I did. I came to the meetings, and really, as well as the family, I just had a fear of dying. I had a real sort of, oh, is this it? Is this all there is to life? You know, I can't believe this is how it's going to go. And I just got answers. So in January 1991, Pastor Chris baptised me and called me Karen. But, and I had a quite wobbly walk, and Emma used to drive me to pick me up to the meeting, so I've got quite a history here, lovely really, and yeah, so that was 31 years ago, so as you can imagine, so much has happened in between. I'm always grateful, I always say it in my testimony, but I'm so grateful that in a house meeting on a Friday night, Sandra turned to me and she said, if I was the only one left in this world, Jesus still would have died for you. I'm trying to cry. It's so weird to cry. It doesn't happen to me at school, anyway, she said that to me, and I literally, that's all I needed. It was like a switch, and I spoke out in tongues. And 31 years later, I'm standing here, and I can still speak in tongues, and I still have a relationship with God. And I'll bring you right up to date 31 years later. I'm still here, I'm still praising the Lord, I still so need the Lord in my life. I really turn to him on a regular basis. We had really bad COVID in March, when we first saw lockdown, really bad COVID. The kids were amazing, and the fellowship was amazing. As soon as I get up here, I cry, or I can't get up on the down. Yeah, so during COVID, the saints were amazing. My kids were panicking. Both Greg and I were really sick, and the saints really supported us, really supported the kids. We had business, and the landlord was a psycho. Oh, he really put us through. The Lord really blessed it. Oh, okay, great. So So we had a business, and the landlord, oh my gosh, some of you would know, I kept talking about it all the time. He really put us through the ringer. We really tried everything: the soft word, the crossword, the legal word, the definitely spiritual. Pray about it a lot. We couldn't understand why we were going through it. Speech was after, if you really want to know what you did to us. It was horrendous. And eventually we had to leave our business, our building, which was literally back in the COVID. We had to leave, you know, it was impossible for us to stay. But the Lord blessed us so much, because we were able to, we weren't really affording the business at the time. We were struggling with it, but we had a 6,000 square foot unit, I think it was about that. Now we're in a little high street. The Lord really blessed it. Our costs have gone down a third, and you know, the Lord's really blessed Greg in getting the business in and getting it going, and so praise the Lord. And I don't